dragons. So, step 2. So the next part of the 10 step is where we move from the resting state, the stillness state, into our first action. Action's an interesting thing. There can be premeditated action with intent behind it, where you're intending to do something and you start putting power into something, and therefore you lock yourself up because things might not actually turn out the way you think they're going to turn out, but you're already committed to an action because you've considered the action and you've already thought about the action, you're already doing the action although you're not moving. Have fun playing with that. The other form of action is where you just move. It's not premeditated. You go from a state of stillness into a movement. And of course, this is where Tai Chi at much later levels becomes far more prevalent, that the Tai Chi actually becomes your movement, the way you move your body. Okay? And the forms become irrelevant other than an interesting way to practice. And that's actually how you should view the forms. They should be fun, they're playful, and they're here to teach you stuff. People get fixated on, oh, it's slow moving and oh, it's a martial art. It can't be a martial art because you're moving slowly. It's like, well, the actual speed at which you move doesn't actually make a difference in terms of martial arts. What makes a difference is how your body moves, how well you can react to things, not react, how well you can interpret things, listen, follow, and do all the stuff. Tai Chi works on a very strange principle, but that's time for another video. You are basically, as you're standing still, you want to get to a point where your body will just naturally move, and that when something happens, you can move and react to it, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a fixed set of movements. You can't possibly think that, oh, this is always going to work this way. Now, having said that, rise and fall is a very, very good opening movement for anything. If something comes in at you, rise and fall is a good thing because it teaches you to react. It teaches you to actually move, and it becomes a conditioned response. So the hands are coming up. They can some forms they'll come up and do strange things. I think Sun style does it like that. They come up more sort of here and then out. Yang style, the forms that I know, you're turning the palms to the floor and then letting the hands flow forward, coming forward and up, dropping the fingertips and coming up. Whatever style it is, there's a reason for it. And Chen style, I believe they come up here and out, and they do things like that. That's from the very limited amount of Chen style I've had, and then obviously I'm not trying to teach you Chen style, I only know Yang, and I only stick to Yang really. So anyway, it's a good response. The hands come up. If something's coming in at you, it's a good thing to get yourself, train yourself so that your hands can just come up. And you want to do it in such a way that you're not throwing yourself out here, you're not sort of leaning forward and trying to do anything clever. Again, it's an exaggeration, but basically what happens is as the hands come forward, there's that coming up onto the toes, leaning here, and again, or it can be the other way where you come and you sort of like throw yourself back onto your heels. You want to try and keep yourself fairly upright so that the hands come forward here, just there, keeping the arms, there's a natural bend in the joints. We don't actually want our arms straight at any time really while doing the form. We want there to be that bend in the joints. Joints are there to bend, wrists are bend. They talk about curving using circles, but the actual shape has a curve. The flesh seems curved, but you're not trying to curve your bones because that won't work. Okay, so you're not trying to make yourself curve. It's just a natural curve of the arm as you come forward. So the palms turn to the floor. Now notice my palms are turning to the floor, but I'm not pushing down here. I'm trying to keep more upright. I'm not pushing out. Okay, it's just literally there. So that the palms turn to the floor and then the hands come forward, fingertips leaning forward. They come up and then there's a slight strain at the end of the fingertips. Just let the fingertips drop and the hands come up to shoulder height. Okay. And then the elbows bend, the wrists bend, and you bring your hands down as you're pushing through water. And that opening movement is known as rise and fall. So, feet shoulder width apart, knees off lock, gap on the armpits. Create your Wu Chi stance, so connecting to the ground, opening the ankles, knees, hips, tailbone drops, chin tucked, head suspended. Allow yourself just to settle down through your feet. take a moment just to breathe, relax, release. Bones floating upright, muscles sinking down. And the palms turn to the floor. And bring your fingertips forward. Leading up with your fingertips. Drop the fingertips, raise the arms to shoulder height. Then dropping the elbows, dropping the wrists down as you're pushing through water. And relax. Feet shoulder width apart, knees off lock, gap under the armpits. Palms to the floor and forward. Drop the fingertips, raise the arms to shoulder height. Then you drop the elbows, drop the wrists and bring the hands down as you're pushing through water. And relax. So we're creating this wave. The hands are coming down here and up forward. So it's not pushing out and then you're there, forward, floating up, dropping the fingertips, and the elbows drop, the wrists drop, and the hands float down. And relax. Now we say the hands float down as you're pushing through water, so that you don't just go. That's not it. Okay, there is that little bit of control. Although your muscles released, relaxed, you still have that little bit of dynamic tension, that little bit of control as the hands come down. And again, feet shoulder width apart, knees off lock, gap under the armpits. Relaxing the feet, ankles, knees, hips, drop tailbone, tuck chin, suspend head. Then palms to the floor and forward. Drop the fingertips, raise the arms to shoulder height. Drop the elbows, drop the wrists and down as you're pushing through water. So their hands end up just below the line of the navel, in line with the top of the pelvis here. Now things to watch out for: shoulders, chin tucked in, head suspended. Okay. Relaxing down. Feet shoulder width apart, knees off lock, gap under the armpits. Palms to the floor and forward. Drop the fingertips, raise the arms to shoulder height. Drop the elbows, drop the wrists and down as you're pushing through water. And relax. Okay, just give the legs a little shake. Circle off the shoulders. Here endeth lesson 2. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a go at putting those two together. So Wuchi, create your alignments, take your time with it, there's no rush, and then just play with this coming forward. More than anything else, just see what's going on with the shoulders, the neck, get them to relax and release, sinking down, dropping the tailbone, connecting to the ground as you do it. And just watch that you're not coming forward onto your toes or back onto your heels or leaning to one side or the other. This is a neutral stance, everything in line. Everything in line. Yeah, keeping yourself very upright. Have fun playing, and I'll see you in the next one.